And breaking tonight, Prince Harry has been denied the right to bring a second legal challenge against the Home Office over its refusal to let him pay for Met Police as his security. The Duke argued his offer to fund his own security using the Met Police should have prompted the government to quash and retake its decision.
Tom Bower is back in the spotlight, and he's got Meghan Markle right in his sights. The royal biographer isn't mincing words this time. He claims Meghan's silence lately, it's not a retreat, it's a power move. According to Bower, Meghan is deep in strategy mode. She's gone quiet on purpose, not because she's fading, but because she's plotting her next big step.
But the court ruled that privately funded police protection was not in the public interest. The Home Office had previously slammed Harry's bid, saying their officers aren't guns for hire. The latest High Court ruling keeps the pressure on the Duke and Duchess of Delusion after the international humiliation the couple suffered when their make-believe car chase through New York was exposed as an overblown farce. And hapless Harry is due back in court again soon, with the Duke due to give evidence next month over his phone hacking claim against the Daily Mirror. So to talk about the latest Sussex woes, I'm delighted to be joined by the celebrated royal biographer, a biographer of Meghan Markle, Tom Bower. So, Tom, you think, while this has been a bad week, things could actually be about to get worse?
Absolutely, Dan. I mean, as we predicted last week, he was going to lose the case against the government. He has a second case against the government, which I'm sure he'll lose too. And then he comes up for cross-examination. And one's got to hope that Andrew Green, who's representing the Mirror, is really going to give Harry a pasting like as if he's never had before. Because what I see really happening at the moment is the crumbling of the magic and mystery of Harry, the whole beginning, really, of the end of his reputation. At the moment, there's nothing nice about Harry. There's nothing you actually warm to. He's sort of a cliche of a ghost of something quite unpleasant. And that hysterical outburst in New York just showed, really, how the man has become somewhat unbalanced because, you know, this was a rather tawdry award. It wasn't any award of any importance. It's all done to up the glory of Meghan and make Gloria Steinem, an ancient relic, quite self-important as well. And they go out the back entrance. And what's really interesting about that car chase is, I don't know if you follow this, but the same agency that was mounted this ridiculous chase. Are the same agency who Meghan was cooperating with in California on Coronation Day for that hiking shot. So it seems to me that somehow Backgrid got angry that they weren't being given the opportunities to do the right photographs at the award ceremony in New York, and then decided they were going to get their own back because it didn't make sense, had enough pictures of Meghan and Harry. And the whole thing is so tawdry. And why were they running? And why didn't they just go, as usual, to the Carlisle Hotel? I'm told the Carlisle not only wouldn't give them a good deal, but was quite keen for them not to come anymore. Right. Because wherever they go, they cast a bad shadow over the whole escapade, as they have, of course, on that awards ceremony with Steinem, because Steinem was hoping to get great publicity for her third-rate organisation, and instead all the publicity went on the Sussexes and their car chase. And very often one hears in California that they're not invited to Hollywood parties or something because they just bring with them the danger of the whole thing being about them. And the other thing which I found really interesting in this whole last week is the silence of Meghan. There's all Harry. Just like when he was promoting his book, just like when he was arguing about the coronation, Meghan stays silent. She is using Harry to fight her battles, but she is keeping her voice off camera. And that is very interesting because she clearly is building up to something quite big. So whatever happens now, Harry has lost all the advantages he had, all the glamour he had, all the credibility he had, and is riding now for the next big fall, which must be the cross-examination in the Mirror case.
And he thinks that is going to be a moment of transformation, a moment where he starts to bring down the British media. But he also thought that was going to be the case when they released that ridiculous statement last week. And it does show you, Tom, doesn't it, what happens now that he doesn't have royal advisors around him actually saying, don't be so ridiculous.
Well, and if he's right, this could send shockwaves through Hollywood, the media, and even the monarchy itself. Here's what Bower says. Meghan's hired some of the best PR minds in Hollywood, working behind the scenes to craft a whole new narrative. She's distancing herself from the drama, letting the headlines cool while quietly building a rebranded version of herself, one that's bigger, bolder, and totally independent from Harry, the royals, or even those Netflix misfires.
What he doesn't understand is that he, of course, in the Mirror case, wants to attack the palace, the king, Prince William, and all of them for briefing against him. What he doesn't realise is the judge will have no quip for this. He'll say to him, Prince Harry, this is a case against the Daily Mirror, not against Buckingham Palace. Now, where's your evidence against the Daily Mirror? And so far, smearman Sherborne, the man acting for Harry, a smarmy lawyer, has totally failed in 3 weeks to produce any evidence. We haven't seen the knock-up, which is not surprising at all.
Given his track record.
Exactly.
Yeah, Harry's got himself in with the wrong people, but that's because he's very easily influenced, isn't he? Now, look, 5th-year wedding anniversary for Harry and Meghan seems incredibly unhappy. I mean, neither of these two are happy. Meghan has never been happy. Harry certainly hasn't been happy since he moved to Montecito. What do you make of these reports that on some nights he's staying away at a different hotel nearby? It seems weird, doesn't it, when you've got a mansion with 16 bathrooms?
Yeah, no, I think there's... You see, the people who reported that were clearly in a battle with Harry. I mean, what's happening really is, which everyone should know, there's a briefing war going on. There's a briefing war about Harry, a briefing war about Andrew, a briefing war about in favour of Princess Anne, all the time. And papers are very keen, rightly, to want to reflect all those stories. But I find it very hard to believe that he's hiding away in a hotel room. After all, he's got a cottage on that estate. He can easily, and does go quite often there to smoke his weed. So I don't believe that. What I do believe is that he was happy at the beginning in California. I think that it was a terrific relief for him to paddle in the Pacific. But I think now the reality is closing in. I think now he's finding that he's not getting his way. And in the end, what's interesting is, you know, there's no new Netflix contract, no announcement of a new Spotify series, no new book has yet been apparently commissioned. What are they going to do? Where's the money going to come from?
Apparently, Meghan's getting another award this week, another spurious made-up award. That's it. That's it at the moment. Look, you mentioned Andrew, and there is a briefing war going on between Andrew and King Charles at the moment over his lodge, the Royal Lodge on the Windsor estate. Andrew doesn't want to leave. Does the King just need to toughen up here, or should he let his brother stay at the house that the Queen said he would be in for the rest, the late Queen, that is, said that he would be in for the rest of his life?
Well, I think that he can't afford it. That's Andrew's problem. It's going to cost more than $1 million a year.
Which Charles knows.
And he says, I'm not letting public money be spent on keeping you one man in this vast mansion. Frogmore is big enough for you. But, of course, what Andrew is doing, he's got a very, very shrewd, clever publicist in London who is feeding the Telegraph and other papers all this sob story, and how tomorrow I think the Mail's got a story about how Andrew is being sent food parcels from Windsor, which doesn't look like the King is angry with him. But that's not the point. The point is, of course, he'll eventually leave. But, you know, he doesn't understand reality, never has understood. And the King, of course, played it badly. He played it badly with Harry, he played it badly with Andrew. And that's the problem. He just doesn't clamp down on them hard enough.
So what's she building? Is this really the start of Meghan's next empire, or is it just another royal rumour, hyped up for the tabloids? Bauer insists this is no accident. He calls it a strategic withdrawal, saying she's waiting for just the right moment to step back into the spotlight, on her own terms. But hey, what do you think? Is Meghan Markle about to pull off the comeback of the decade, or has the world already moved on to the next royal headline? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. I want to hear what you think. And if you think we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg, hit that like button right now. Don't forget to subscribe for more fearless breakdowns, royal scoops, and commentary you won't find anywhere else. Until next time, keep your eyes on the silence. That's when the biggest moves are made.